Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I am the one and only Jay Tilly.
Jay Tilly in the house. I feel like you're all in the house
Oh,
and
I am.
not all out, but you might be all out if you were all in. Hey, let's not get into a fight. Let's,
It's just
hey.
class, man. It's just a show. Don't cry me a river. Oh man, I tell
Dude,
you.
every significant magical moment for AEW the last 2 years has been marred with either CM Punk showing his ass or someone imitating Punk showing his ass, talking about the pickles and all this other stuff.
Yep.
But man, like all that aside, I'm sorry, if this is the last time we see CM Punk, he leaves with a victory. I don't know what they're going to do with the new and real world's championship title. But dude, that show, man, what a
It-
freaking show,
yeah.
man. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We didn't get a chance to record on Tuesday. As people know, we are in Florida, so we had a little bit of a storm to get ready for, so we weren't able to record. Because we obviously talked WWE, but I'm okay with missing WWE because what also we haven't had to do done yet is we lost Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt last week. So pretty big hits in the wrestling industry. I mean, yeah, I mean we can go in a little bit on that, like maybe towards the end of the show, about what both of them meant. But with Bray Wyatt, just a genius in creativity. Whether you liked him or not, he was definitely creative.
Yeah.
And then Terry Funk, man, I don't think there's a wrestler alive that can't say they haven't been influenced by him some way or another. Because
Right.
just an amazing and one of those guys who would always do a job on his way out, so to speak. So rest in peace to those guys. So talking WWE, I don't feel it's fair to judge their past two shows because I think they lost somebody really close to them in their house. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with us not poo pooing all over Raw or cheering or whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, all in, man. Whew,
Dude.
what a show.
Man. And it
81,400 and something people. The shoot ticket sales, so
that was
the
funny.
highest ticket
Jericho.
sale. Yeah, Jericho on Wednesday
That's a
night.
shoot.
That's a shoot, brother. But yeah, it was
Dude.
golly, man, what a show. What a show. Too bad they didn't follow it up with a good show, but it was a good
Oh
show.
man. Yeah. Like I think I think this show was better than the Raw after WrestleMania.
Oh,
Um, which I mean, obviously, I don't. That might not be a very high bar, but I, the all in, the energy, the every single match delivered. There wasn't any, BS where you were just sitting there going, "Oh my god!" And they made it right with the main event, and they kept pushing.
that
And
main event. Yeah,
yeah,
oh, yeah, I agree, man. That the whole show was I can't think of a match on the card that I was disappointed in. I mean, from top to bottom, everything on that show was just phenomenal. I mean, even the pre-show stuff, like the Aussie Open, I did not see
oh my
Cole
god,
and MJF winning that, but talk about adding a whole twist to the whole main event, which was
yeah,
great. The Hook Jungle Boy match, Jack Perry match, which caused all the controversy with CM Punk backstage.
yeah.
I guess to the point where he literally wasn't going to go out and do his match with Samoa Joe. That's crazy. How do you not like? How do you get that mad? Sorry, I'm adjusting my camera here. How do you get that mad that you're gonna sacrifice being out in front of those people, 80,000 people, and just go, no, I'm too pissed. I don't. Come on, dude. Like, I don't know Punk personally. We do talk a lot of mental health though, and I just there's everybody in the world is not out to get you, and I just feel like like you said, everything he's been involved in, there's controversy behind. Even Collision is
Sucks
getting
too.
controversy
Yeah,
now. It's just
freaking sucks.
so it's like I've told my daughter before. This was freshman year, maybe I don't know, maybe it was last year in high school, but oh, this friend's that. And I finally looked at her, I'm like, baby, if everybody around you is an asshole, maybe you're the asshole. Like,
Yeah,
maybe look inside a little bit. And I just feel like he is so into like everybody's out to get him. It's a personal slight. Dude, you're an adult, man. Like, grow up.
yeah,
And I'm a fan of his. I like watching him. But at this point, like, how do you justify keeping him at this point? Like, how does Tony Khan, in all good
yeah,
consciousness, sit down and go, "Well, he did it again, but it's okay. I like him." Like, and
yeah,
I don't know Tony Khan personally either. I wish I did. Hey, Tony, give me a
yeah.
call.
Hey,
I can help you with
hit me up,
leadership.
man.
But
Yeah,
I just feel like somebody put it to me once. Well, I do remember who it was, but I'm not going to put it out there. Said that Tony Khan is like the nerd in high school who drives around the Ferrari because he's got a rich dad. So all the jocks hang out and love him. And I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like he's the
yeah,
guy with the money who, but he doesn't want to piss anybody off because, he doesn't want him not to be cool anymore.
right.
And I'm like, I could see that because he is such a fan and a mark for wrestling. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I am too.
Yeah,
But you can't let these guys walk all over you. And I feel like he needs like an enforcer. He needs like an Undertaker backstage holding
yeah,
wrestling court. And I
yeah.
just
And I
not
don't.
not CM Punk. It shouldn't be CM Punk.
No, yeah, and I don't know if like when they brought Jericho on, they were like, "All right, you're going to be the locker room leader, or you're going to be this, or you're going to be that," and there was probably a little bit of that. And then when the big show, Paul White went over there, um, and then probably Mark Henry, and Mark Henry does a lot of like recruiting and community
Mhm.
work and all this other stuff. But you have like what MJF was saying, a bunch of these bastard toys putting on the best damn wrestling
Yep.
show on the planet. And what's the term? You're gonna break a few eggs to make an omelet or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, okay, but I don't. I really. It was to the point where they went and told FTR and the Bucks, "Hey, are you guys ready to go? Everybody got their boots on. We're changing up the card."
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't know what your gate is on an 81,000 seater. I don't know what your check is, per show or per year or whatever. But sometimes you got to, like you said, with the funkster doing a job on the way out, like do something for someone else besides yourself.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, maybe this is a work, and now we're gonna have to like back into a story with this situation. And I don't know, man. I want AEW to be as fantastic plus a- and then some. And it's like Punk only like he just keeps sabotaging it, just as everybody's talking about like, can the brand get any bigger? Well, here's a way to get bigger, but here's Punk
Mhm.
spitting on everybody. But I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
it's got to get to the point where you've got to wonder if is it worth the money? Like I understand he's a draw. I totally get that. But okay, the elite stuff happened. Cool. There's some divides there. Now it's happened again with on Collision not letting people in the building. Like now it's
Yeah,
Jack Perry. Yes, I know they're all kind of tied to the elite, so I guess it's all in that realm. But at the same time, like there's people at work I don't like, but you don't pick a fist fight with them all the time.
yeah,
And somebody, one of the wrestlers equated to like an NFL locker room. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but you don't hear guys in the NFL locker room fighting each other. They might push and shove, but they don't choke each other out. Like, come on.
yeah.
And just like not everything in my and I don't know. I just feel like he takes everything. Like, what's the line from Anchorman? Oh, that escalated quickly. Like, I feel like if you're sitting backstage and CM Punk walks by, you go, oh shit, that's gonna escalate quickly
Oh,
because
here we go.
just a
you know,
quick snip, like, and yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna choke you out. Well, all I did was say
I'm
which I understand it was still a
like,
dig at Punk, but and again, we don't know the story. Apparently, there's footage of it though, so I am kind of curious if that's ever gonna leak out. But we don't know the story. Like some Punk side is saying that Jack Perry threw the first punch, and Perry's side is saying that he just walked up to him and he choked him out. I don't know what it is. Just like the all in stuff, right?
yeah,
Like or all out stuff. We don't know what the full story on that was. But there is a common denominator in both of these instances. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see him back from some of the reports that Fightful and I think House of Wrestling are saying is that even Tony Khan is done right now. Which
wow,
last time Tony Khan was like, he's still here, but from what I understand, like even Tony was like, no, man, like this is enough. So he may be on
yeah.
his way out. We'll see.
Well, with all that aside, Punk still was able to go out and have I feel, above average match, and I'm like super critical of CM Punk. I love Samoa Joe. Um, but I thought they had a great match. I felt like they told an awesome story, and the crowd was so into it as whoever it was that was fighting from underneath. They were cheering and jeering, and it was a good. I felt like the card was sequenced really well,
Oh, it
including
was
Zero
great.
Hour, and like each match made sense. It didn't blow everybody up too soon, and all the way up to the crescendo in the main event. Like, dude, so
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, we were sitting here watching it, and one of my worries was like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna blow this crowd out too early," because you had the Punker match, then you had the Golden Elite versus the Bullet Club Gold,
God, that was a
then you
good weekend.
had the FTR Bucks match. I'm like, "Oh golly, like
Jeez.
I'm getting up and up and up," and then they kept going, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm out of breath. I can't imagine what the people in the arena were like."
Yeah.
And you could see a little bit of it. They came down a little bit for maybe it was the women's match, but they pulled them right back in. They were still in there. And then I would say maybe the Acclaim uh House of Black match wasn't the top match of the night, but even still they were up and cheering for the big spots that they were supposed to be up and cheering for.
Yeah.
And it was a title switch, which was cool.
Very cool.
Yep. And then you mentioned the main event, man. I can't think of another match that I've enjoyed as much as that one, and not just from the in-ring action, just the comedy part of it, the throwing chair back and forth and
Yeah.
putting on his head,
When he put
to
it
the
on his head and
drama,
laid down.
and laid down with it on his head, and the neck bumps and like just an overall really good match to the point where if we were to record that, what's one wrestling match you would show a non-wrestling fan to get him into? This might overtake Hulk, Hogan versus The Rock because
Wow.
yes, they're not as big names, but you could sit down and you could immediately figure out the story.
Yeah.
You can watch the drama unfold because they told a magnificent story to the point where I was believing MJF is going to be a good guy from now on, no matter what. So, and I love this. I'm still a scumbag. I'm just your scumbag.
Yeah.
What a
That's
great way to
awesome.
play. Yeah, what a
Shit,
great way to be an asshole heel, but still be a baby face all the time. Like just perfect.
man. Whew.
And
Yeah,
in the
that
end,
ugh.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just like the as the card continued to progress through, and you get to the main event, and you're like, and I was like nearly spent. I was like, man, this has been fantastic, and you have these larger than life characters with the WWE. And back in the day, my WWE brain would say, well, why aren't they like a cartoon character? And why aren't they, 6'8" and acting like they're, from a different country or a different belief, or they're, spitting on whatever. The character work that they did and continued and did on Wednesday, the like, oh man, the Tony Storm, she's just
Oh,
like,
love this character.
oh god. So I'm really looking forward to how Christian and Luchasaurus, how this is going to progress. Luchasaurus has to defend his title. So that's good. That's going to be funny as hell. We got the new trios title belts, which was pretty cool
The
with the
scissoring.
tails on it. I thought that was pretty slick. And man, just I thought the card had a little bit of everything. And Samoa Joe and CM Punk, wonderful match. I thought the Bucks and FTR, um, probably not as good as the dog collar match with the Briscoes, but still
Right.
a really damn good match. And man, that it just yeah, like we were talking, we were sitting there and watching the show as everybody's like, you can only hold your breath for so long, and they kept you right at the cusp of, "Oh, I'm gonna black out," and then okay, I can breathe for,
Yep.
oh, I gotta hold my breath. Oh, I gotta. But yeah, dude, that was very, very. And the commentators, I thought the commentator moving the commentators around throughout the show, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out, and I was like, oh, that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Taz, I love you, dude, and
Good
you are
stuff.
killing it on the mic. Shoot.
Yeah. I listened to Taz and I'm like, wow, they really stifled him when he was doing commentary in WWE. Like you can
Serious.
tell that Tony Khan is pretty much like, say what you want to say. Like here's some talking points, but I'm not going to
Yep.
read the script to you in your ear. And I think Jr. Same way. Like some of the things he says, he's very blunt. You can tell when he's not liking something. What's the referee looking at? Or doesn't even matter who's got the tag, but
Yeah.
it it allows for a really good, enjoyable commentator team. And I like the fact that each of them got to come out and each of them got to do their commentating in front of 81,000 people, the
Dude,
largest paid wrestling crowd ever.
that's awesome. Everybody got to be part of the piece of history. And I feel like we are a piece of wrestling history personally. We were part of the most tickets sold in one day for WrestleMania,
Yep.
when we got our tickets for WrestleMania. So, wrestling history is being rewritten every day. Camille was the women's world champion for NWA, the longest reigning NWA women's champion. Rhea is probably going to be on a hell of a run. Bianca Belair, um, the women's championship. I think Saraya, there's a really good chance that she holds on to this, for quite a while,
You
because I
think?
think I I think there's some meat on the bone with the outcasts and who's doing what to who, and they can prolong it because you have Collision sort of doing their thing with the TBS championship. So that I think will be a big focal point. But yeah, I don't. Originally, I thought, oh yeah, she's just going to be a transitional champion until Jamie Hayter comes back. Um, and they wanted to give a hometown pop to
Yep.
one of the wrestlers. But I really, like, in hindsight, thinking through, okay, this could really work, and Tony can fight from underneath and battle whether she's a heel or a face. So she's an outcast or she's an original or she's just all elite, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I think she'll hold on to it for a little while. So I
Did
think that'll be
did you catch Saraya at the press conference media scrum after All In?
no.
Oh, it was pretty neat because she talked about how when she first came back, she was still very hesitant and scared to be in the ring because of everything going on. And
Oh,
she
I
told the
bet.
story about Tony Khan and how he, went and got doctors and all the doctors had cleared her and how WWE refused to listen to him. And Tony was like, well, let's do it. And basically told her not to do anything she wasn't comfortable with. And when she said that, I kind of was like, oh, you know what? I see that because I thought she was much better in this all in match than
Yeah.
we had seen her previously. So she talked about how she had gotten her confidence back and that there were some things going on behind the scenes that we didn't know. And now that's kind of gone away. So now she's ready to go all in, for lack of a better term. So when
So
she said that, I'm
awesome.
like, okay, she's going to hold this for a while. I think I wouldn't be surprised if she holds it till Monet shows up because
Oh my
I
god.
think I could see Mercedes being the first. I'm here to take that from you, and woof, man, that'll be good.
Now, here's a amazing story. So Monet will have held a WWE Women's Championship, the NXT Championship, the New Japan Championship, and if she wins the AEW, whew,
Yep.
like that's a hell of a resume. And yes, Charlotte has won 14 or 15 titles, but they're all they're all WWE or NXT, and NXT they're not even including as a world championship.
Right.
So I mean, that's just kudos to her and everything that she's doing with her career. And I hope she heals up quick with her ankle injury.
Yeah, me too. They showed some of the photos of her while she was there, and she's still got that boot on, so she's not 100% yet, which
Oh wow.
is
Okay.
cool. And they brought it up at the press conference or media scrum too. And Tony Khan just didn't say that she was coming to AEW. He just said that with it being such an impressive show and everything going on, that he wanted to make sure that stars from around the world and big stars could be there, and he offered her tickets. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. So
That's awesome. I wish they
yep,
would have panned the crowd or known where more wrestlers were at. And
yep,
obviously, like if Rhea Ripley was there,
can't show. Yeah,
yeah, you're not going to pan to her or Charlotte if she was there if her husband were going to be on the card. But dude, that was such an amazing show. The pyro, I still don't know where they park. I just think it's funny. We're sitting there going, well, where the hell is everybody parked at?
yeah.
But
Where do they park their
yeah,
cars?
but the crowd, I totally love the crowd. I think the feedback the crowd was giving the wrestlers that instant feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Just oof, man, just a banger after banger. Um, all the wrestlers on the show should be super proud, and it seemed like only MJF and Billy Gunn like stopped for a second and checked the crowd out, and
Yeah,
we're
to
like,
appreciate
holy
it.
shit, and Billy having been there, done that, realizing like, oh shit, this is probably I'm obviously closer to the end than the beginning of his career,
Yep.
but to see them taking it in, it's just like some of your momentous occasions where you were like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool, it'll happen again. Well, outside of Tom Brady, not too many people get to experience a Super Bowl half of their career.
Yeah.
um Marino went to one his rookie year, never went again.
Yeah.
And Phil Sims was lucky to get to him with the Giants. And um, but for the wrestlers, I really hope that they um, appreciate the significance of what they did and how much the fans really appreciated having such a fantastic alternative. And Cody might not be there, but I hope he feels a certain kind of way about how well they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
because he played a big part in them getting to where they are. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
pretty cool.
you mentioned Billy Gunn, but I mean Sting, Jericho, like
Shit.
these are guys who
Oh
have
yeah, damn! I didn't even.
been around the world literally and have never been in front of a crowd that big, paid crowd that big.
Yeah,
And I read something that Sting was part of the largest TNA show ever, was part of the largest WCW show ever, and now part of the largest AEW show
that's
ever.
so freaking
Yet
awesome,
WWE said he really wasn't that good, so they jobbed him out. Like, hello, something's not right.
man.
And Sting, what, 62, 63? I don't even know how old he is. That
Yeah,
match was great. Like some
yeah.
of the bumps he took and the things that happened in that match, that coffin match. But we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Jericho Will Ospreay match.
Oh my goodness, so outdid my expectations
Yep.
by I don't want to exaggerate, but like two or three times.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of spots where it was obvious that Jericho was like, "Oh shit, Will Ospreay's pretty freaking quick and he's pretty stiff."
Dude,
And
the
then
first
once,
dive out of the the first dive out of the ring, I think I looked at you and just like, oh, that's how Jericho's gonna keep up. Ospreay's gonna make him keep up because he nailed him.
yeah, Woo!
Yeah, it was fantastic match. Fantastic. I'm with you. I mean, if you go back and listen to our preview of it, we were like, we'll see how it goes. I
Yeah.
imagine it'll be good. I did not imagine it to be possibly one of the matches of the night, and
Yeah.
that's saying a lot with a card with Omega and Punk and well, the MJF Adam Cole I think was my favorite match, but
Yeah.
and that was just theatrical from start to finish and the drama between those two. Yeah, if you're out there listening to us and you haven't seen All In, it's definitely worth checking out.
Hell yeah.
Probably one of the best pay-per-views, not just AEW pay-per-views I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the highest rated show this year that I've seen, since we've been doing the show. Absolutely the best show that I've seen. You could, oh, WrestleMania was fantastic, blah, blah. So it was 2 nights. I hated the ending. Some of the matches didn't make sense. They did a fantastic job, but again, it was so long. There was all this stuff mixed in. Kudos to Snoop and the Miz for thinking on their feet when
Yep.
Shane O'Mac got hurt. But the card was fantastic. The wrestlers showed out, and just like you said, like each match, they're gonna dap each other up as they're getting ready to come out. All right, you saw that, right? Yeah. Okay. That's our baseline right there. All right, cool, I got it.
Yep.
And it just kept going and going. And Jericho in his 50s, Osprey, arguably one of the best on the planet right now, and what in this beautiful sport we follow of professional wrestling. And just, oh man, just and the story that FTR and the Bucks told, and I was so blown away by the match and by the ending. Um, I just like every single match. I just, man,
Mhm.
yeah, you can't
Yeah.
you can't say enough good about the card. And yeah, AEW should be extremely proud of the product that they put out, and kudos to them and to the fans that were there in attendance. Really made the card something special because you could feel all 91,000
Yeah.
every pop, every song they sang along with, the cheers, the excitement. When Soraya won the world championship, how loud it got. It was so loud it got silent. Like,
Yeah.
how on earth does that happen? And her family being there, I thought that was really cool too.
Yep. So the question I'll pose you then is do you think they followed up this massive successful show with a massive successful Dynamite?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Uh yeah, I mean, it was like, oh shit, we got to get a show together. And what they should have done is, okay, here's the card that I have booked for Wembley, and they've been putting this card together for a year or whatever. Some of the matches came together out of circumstance and injury. Okay, cool. We're going to do the four-way for the women's championship. This is a gift that fell in our lap, and it was fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, okay, there's the card. Now we don't have Miro. We don't have who's some of the other wrestlers on the card. You could have an update from Jamie Hayter, which ties into Saraya pinning Tony, which is obviously going to come back to play in the story. You could do something, um, talking about one of the wrestlers that wants to settle a score, and Brian Danielson. There's a vignette from him. Or you could have, they could have booked the two shows parallel, so it didn't seem like, oh shit, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Like, okay, well, yeah, they just got back from England. They're probably tired. They wrestled on Sunday. They probably traveled late Monday into Tuesday, and they don't even know what city they're in. So they're not going to
Right.
go, you know, Illinois, what do you want to talk about? Like, yeah, it wasn't a as successful. I thought some of the backstage stuff was really good. The Bang Bang Gang, uh, they're slowly building some momentum. Juice Robinson is so freaking annoying. He's a
but I love him.
perfect, yeah, like he's a perfect complement to um the confident, cocky Jay White and the guns. And he's just sitting over there, one of those, yeah, what do you want to do now, Spike? What do you want to do? Blah, blah, blah," yipping at everybody. Whoo, man.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. I thought the matches, like, why is Moxley going against Commander? Like
Well,
it,
so
like,
that's part of my thing, right? So I agree. I don't think they followed up. So if 80,000 people, so you've got a buzz around it, like WrestleMania ends, there's a buzz. I
mhm,
felt like, man, they should go out there and just put on a good show. Like, just put out whatever banger you want and then throw some match cards up for All Out, which is this weekend. And this show was all over the place. Now,
yeah,
I will forgive it, I want to say, because Tony Khan put out that there were some injuries and illnesses that came out of the London trip. So not everybody was there. He told anybody that lived in Florida or had family in Florida, they didn't have to be there because of the storm. And he said anybody that wanted to go to Bray Wyatt's service didn't have to come to the show. So that's three big kind of factors of people not
mhm,
being on the show. So it very well could have been, okay, you're here, you're here, you're here. Moxley Commando, you guys go out. It could have been very much an on the fly booking show.
yeah.
I really can't, in my heart, believe that they would go, yeah, this is the greatest show to put on after our biggest event ever.
Yeah,
Um, because there were parts of the show I were blow away great.
yeah.
And those are the ones I think were maybe supposed to be there, like the Bang Bang Gang and the FTR Bucks thing leading into their 8-way match at All Out. Cool. I like
Oof,
that. The
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the Adam Cole Kingdom and Roddy Strong stuff. That was good. I enjoyed that. That
Yeah.
was probably booked. The Orange Cassidy match with
Oh
Penta.
my god.
What? And then his
Freaking
promo after
Penta,
that.
dude. Yeah, that's a
Wow.
great point. Like, wait a minute. He's from wherever. He weighs whatever, and he's cutting a promo. And
Like a
like,
passionate promo.
dude, that was the CM Punk "Tell Me When I'm Telling Lies"
Yep.
promo that I totally look at Orange completely different. Um, I was shopping trying to get a Titus O'Neil shirt and a couple other T-shirts for some superstars from Florida, and I am now going to go get me a freshly squeezed T-shirt because
Yeah.
that dude, I am uber invested in that cat, and I'm turning and pointing. I'm making room for the AEW International
Yeah,
Championship because that
I want
cat,
that belt too.
dude, yeah,
Yeah. It to me, it's the probably the most important belt in AEW right now.
yeah,
Not to put so I think the best story in AEW right now is definitely MJF and Adam Cole. I think
yeah,
it's the best story going in wrestling right now. I think it's better than the Bloodline was. Forgive me, throw stuff at me if you want, but I think this is more entertaining than the Bloodline stuff. I feel like some of the Bloodline was great, the Sami
yeah,
Zayn, all that, but now it's like, get on with it. This has been great from the funny vignettes for their tag match to the emotion that showed in the main event to now they're going to continue on with this storyline. And now obviously you're going to get a feud between the Empire and MJF and Adam Cole. So there's all this stuff building to it, which I'm really enjoying. But yeah, that promo, and when he grabbed the mic, I'm like, Orange Cassidy doesn't. I don't think
yeah.
he's ever done a promo in front of the crowd. And man, he started
Oh
talking.
shit, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think
not
he's
only
ever done
does he
one.
not, yeah, he just asked Renee if she wants to
Yeah.
be in the match too.
Yep. And when he started off, when he went,
Have a
I'm
chair.
tired.
Have
I'm
a
like,
chair.
okay, so this
Yeah.
is gonna be an or and then he goes, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, what? And then he
What?
went off. And it's funny you said it was the CM Punk promo. I feel like this was a direct response to the CM Punk stuff when he talked about, you know, this title matters. I'm going to come out and defend it. And this, I was like, I feel like,
Hmm.
the locker room, we may have disagreements, but we're a bunch of misfit. Like he even went with that same thing, the misfit toys thing. Like, I was an outcast and told I was too skinny, never going to do anything, would never be in wrestling, and here I am holding the title that is the most defended and all that. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. He's got most
Yeah.
title defenses in AEW history. Like, he's got some really cool stats on that, and I cannot wait for Moxley Orange Cassidy. Like, in that promo, I was just like, I mean, I've wanted to see that match, but that I'm like, I'm fully that I don't want him to lose now. I want him to beat Moxley.
Oh man,
And yeah, I'm just like, let's go.
that would be very, very significant if he comes out the winner of the champion of the match. Not only is he still the champion, but the fact that he's going to beat a 2 or 3 time AEW champion, a
Yep.
multi-time WWE champion. He's won championships all over. He won the New Japan United States Championship, and like, yeah, I don't think it now is the time for him to lose the title. Um, but I think if anybody is going to carry the title, it should be someone as significant as like a Jay White or
Yeah.
a Moxley or Danielson or um,
I
maybe
could see
even
him
a
losing.
Miro.
So I could see it like
Maybe
somebody like
not a Miro.
Okada or
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah,
somebody, because if you want it international, like, give it to somebody like Okada or
yeah,
one of those, someone from New Japan or Triple A that can come in and like Vikingo. Well, he's still kind of mid card. I mean, I hate to say that because I love the guy, but
yeah,
have somebody like that come in and win it, so now he can defend it in these other things because it's supposed to be the international title. But yeah, that I can't wait for that match. I think it's going to be fantastic.
yeah.
The flip side of the coin, though, is I feel like this is a split Ring of Honor slash AEW card. So I thought it was interesting. We're getting Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor, I think his name was.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, that came out of nowhere. We got the Ring of Honor tag champions. Apparently, Athena is going to be defending against Billy Starks. So a lot of Ring of Honor stuff, and I don't know how much of that is also affected by some of the all-in injuries,
Yeah, that's
sicknesses,
true.
and people not being there. But I felt like, and obviously with Punk not being on the card in Chicago, that's a big hit.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
like, that's a draw they're going to have to fill. And I don't know if the Bucks and FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang or fills that hole on that card.
Hmm.
So, well, you got Omega Takeshita already on there, so maybe we'll see. I'm very curious what the Elite get in Chicago as
Hmm.
far as cheering or booing, but
Ooh, geez, yeah.
it's going to
Hmm.
be interesting, especially now that Punk is suspended again. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say like if yeah, who else would get MJF would probably get a decent amount of heat because he is the world champion, but he never beat CM Punk for the title, and the
yep,
crowd's gonna feel a certain kind of way. And it's like Cowboys fans and Raiders fans, that just the blind fandom,
hmm
completely unrealistic every year. Oh, this is the year, really? What did they do different last year
yeah,
than they did? Like, they won 3 games last year. You might get four. Um, like it's just so blind. I don't know. And CM Punk, fantastic. The pipe bomb promo. Um, the fact that when he came back, he seemed like he was happy and in a great place, and now it's just a dark cloud on 2 major events, which is super unfortunate because he had a great match, and for it to end up that way, even to the point where they're about to change the card, which would have really sucked
and it delayed the
because
show by 10 minutes.
yeah. And and then so now here's Samoa Joe, like, well, dude, like, be a fucking, come on. And
Yeah,
then you got Miro and him evidently got into it as well.
yeah.
So you're
Apparently, that
like,
was more of a
dude,
so from what so Brian Alvarez reported that, which I'm sure he reported what he got told, but Miro and CM Punk have come out and said that they were just joking around, that
oh,
it wasn't anything serious. But
good.
obviously, with everything else going on, that got added into it and made it bigger. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even the fact that you're joking around back that on a night that's happened earlier isn't probably the
Yeah.
best thing to do.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, like there are people at work I don't like, but I'm not choking them out, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, my job gets pretty stressful, but I don't go, ah, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna
That's
put you
it.
in a chokehold. What do you mean?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
You
put
just
you to
walk
sleep.
up to your one of your coworkers and you put your hands up like
Yeah.
you're about to give them the go to sleep. Like
Yeah, I
that's
just
funny.
but uh so those were the highlights of the card. And I want to keep it positive. Like I think sometimes I get on here and I go, "Oh, I hated this and I hated that." So I don't want to do that as much because right now I think there's so much toxicity in the wrestling fandoms that
Yeah.
we don't need to add to it. But
Yeah,
there
that's
were
true.
parts of this that was very disappointing. I didn't think the Mox Commander match was bad.
No.
I just think it kind of came out of nowhere and didn't make sense for any storylines. Like I said, I have to believe that it was Mox was there because he was going to do the thing with Orange Cassidy at the end, and it was, uh, shoot, we don't have XYZ didn't show up. Can you go out and wrestle Commander? Yeah, okay. Because I could see Mox being like, yep, I got it. We can
Yeah.
go make it work. And there was a couple other things on the show, like the women's match on the show, the tag 6-way
The six
with
way, yeah.
uh I can't even remember who was in it on the heel side, but I felt like that was a very odd mismatch of people together. Like
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it was supposed to be Statlander, Breaker, and you know, no, well maybe like maybe the Outcast versus those three or something, because then you could still do the Ruby Soho thing with the attack at the end, which is I'm cool. Like I'm down for that match, and I'm down for Statlander getting involved with them, but I don't know. There was just things in this card that felt disjointed. It felt like some of it was planned booking, and some was like, ah, crap. Which I don't want to poo poo on because if he gave people off for the hurricane, if he gave people off to
Yep.
attend Bray Wyatt's service, and then 6 and injuries, like totally understandable, right? Like that's the kind of stuff you should do. But maybe at the beginning of the show, make the announcement like, "Hey, this card was changed," which I think he did on Twitter. In all fairness, but of course on Twitter, everybody's going to rip it apart and say, "Wow, you're
Yeah.
dumb. This is blah blah blah." Because Twitter is just so. If you have any mental health issues, don't go on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like it's so brutal.
Lay out a little bit. Just
Yeah.
go hop on Peacock or Paramount or what other streaming service you have, and just veg out on some wrestling or
Yep.
catch your favorite show that makes you give you your happy thoughts. But I think the trios match, the way it ended on the card, and the House of Black giving the title, handing the titles over.
Yeah.
Then they retire the titles in the House of Black version to bust out the Scissor Me titles, which I thought it was fantastic. Not as um, cool looking to me anyway as the original or the House of Black version,
House of Black's my favorite.
dude. But you've got to appreciate the creativity that they showed with the title, like some of the Bray Wyatt championships.
Yep.
Um, there was a post that that I think one of his fans posted, and it was a remake of the title, and it was like this reddish color with leather in the middle, and it was
Nice.
fantastic. So there's some really cool titles. But you get the new trios championship. Thought that was really cool. Really blown away by the Ring of Honor um, championship being defended, and they end up winning. They end up winning the tag team titles, and that can do all kinds of really cool stuff with the show. And it kept me really invested. And fortunately, I didn't know about the stuff behind the
Yeah.
scenes until a little bit later. And, um, we were sitting there talking like, oh, damn, they're already bleeding. And then to come to find out, that everybody's in their feels about it. Like, come on, dude,
Yeah.
it's wrestling. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We harped on that enough. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. To take a phrase from a friend of mine, it is what it is. So we'll see what the outcome's going to be. I don't know if we'll ever see CM Punk back. I think it might have been Michael Hamflet from What Culture tweeted, "Man, it was awesome to see CM Punk live. It sucks I got to wait till WrestleMania 40 to see him again." I just kind of laughed. I'm like, well, that might not be too far from the truth.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But at the same time, is WWE going to go? We don't want that.
yeah.
Like, if you look at all the drama he's causing in AEW, a company that lets you to be a little free,
Right.
maybe that's it. Maybe they're too free. Maybe they're too non-scripted and too
Oh,
able to
yeah.
do stuff that uh, the younger talent, as they say, think they can get away with saying things that maybe they shouldn't. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna leave it where it is in the wrestling ring. I think back to when I was younger and watched wrestling. There was no dirt sheets. There was none of that. It was just wrestling. I didn't know, like, they're snorting coke off of hookers' asses. Like, hey, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, Ravishing Recruit, he's cool. I didn't know, I didn't know Jake the Snake Roberts was a massive pill and cokehead. Like, he was just a dude with a snake, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And
He just took care of Damien. That's all I knew.
yeah, yeah, and sometimes I miss that ignorance. Like, I
Yeah.
miss because realistically, if you take out the news media and the dirt sheets and all that, and we don't know anything about the Jack Perry CM Punk, that we don't know about the All Out blowout last year, it makes it a little more enjoyable. So sometimes you just got to compartmentalize, I guess,
Yeah.
part of it. And I think the fact that we didn't know about what happened with Jack Perry and CM Punk, I think I read it on Twitter like halfway through and I brought it up to
Yeah.
you, but not knowing that going into it, I enjoyed it all. But if I'd have known it right when it happened, I probably would have been like, man, what an asshole.
Oh
Like, I don't
man,
want to
what
see
a
him. Like,
dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those like give or takes. Like, it's cool to kind of be in the know and ooh, I know the secrets behind, and I got to be the first to know the secrets. But at the same time, I miss that ignorance of
Yeah.
feeling like these guys all get along or they all hate each other, whatever the case is backstage. And
Yeah.
because even when I thought it or knew that it was scripted, because we don't use the F word, and it's scripted, back behind the curtain they're all friends, is what you think. That was okay, but it's like all this other political stuff here and there, and especially coming out of AEW. Like, there's so many leaks that come out on things that happen, and you just don't get that from WWE much. We
Yeah.
got a little bit of it with the Mercedes Monet and Trinity when they left. We kind of heard the rumblings, but not nearly as bad. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know Tony Khan, but to me, leadership starts at the top. And both of us being in the military, you gotta yoke that up a little bit and put these guys in their place
Yeah.
at some point.
And it's
So,
and it's better if you come in like a hard ass, and then as everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're showing up to the arena on time, they're not going off script. Hey, great guys, nice job. And then you don't even have to say anything. You just let up a little bit, and they'll police each other up because
yep,
they're used to that atmosphere. And maybe Tony wanting to be the anti Vince is kind of biting him in the ass.
yep,
Um, so
yep.
yeah,
And it could be that he just doesn't have time to do it all. I mean,
yeah, he's a busy dude.
according to all accounts, he's still doing all the booking and everything. He's starting to give some of it up, but he's got that. He's got the data analytics company he runs. He runs the Jaguars. He runs Fulham football across the pond. It, like, I don't know when the guy sleeps. Like, holy cow, he runs a lot of stuff.
Jeez.
So maybe there's a little give on that, but it's wrestling and we love it and we're going to continue to love it.
Yeah.
So I just, we'll see. What do you think the all out card? Have you seen the final card? And
So it seems to me like it's like you said, like a Ring of Honor. Let's get Ring of Honor on TV. They didn't play a huge part of the show, although the tag team championship was the first match of 0 hour. Um, but I think I I don't know if because they didn't really talk about what the card is going to look like because they were still trying to put the card together for All In. So it's not like, oh damn, I thought we were going to see this match. Now we're going to see that match because we didn't know what we were getting. All I knew was Hobbs and Miro, and
Yeah.
I'm in for that. I want to see Miro rise from the ashes with this um, new character work that he's doing. Watch Hobbs just become a freaking monster right in front of everybody. I don't know
I don't know
how
who
it's.
wins that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a double count out, and they're gonna have to continue
I
on.
hope not.
Whatever.
I hope
Yeah,
not. Like
yeah,
that's one of the things that I've liked about AEW is they don't do the WWE. Oh, neither one of them can lose. I hope they have a distinct winner or loser and
yeah,
continue a story. But yeah, I hope it's a good match and
yeah.
they just have a clean winner and then they continue it on and that's it. But I don't know who you put down because maybe Hobbs, you get Hobbs to lose and that facilitates the final movement of him away from QTV and that's
Oh,
how
yeah, that's
we
true.
you have something involved with that and he finally goes, "Hey, you guys aren't good for me. I'm done." And
Yeah,
maybe how you turn him face and then Miro can go on his tear and win. I don't
yeah,
know. I think it'd be a great big hoss what is it? Big E said that one time, big men slapping man meat or whatever it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a good one. I think the crowd is gonna be kind of lukewarm because it's gonna be the third night of wrestling
Mhm,
in that zip code. So they're at two different arenas.
mhm.
So yeah, I think the crowd is going to be kind of lukewarm, so that may hurt the card. But I bet the boys and girls are going to go out and lay it out. Athena is going to be on the card. Love to see her. She's just great character work. Her gear looks great. She's a great heel. That's
Yeah.
so. What do you think? You started talking about it's very Ring of Honor heavy. Not that Ring of Honor isn't a great product, but
Nope.
it's AEW all out.
Yeah.
like
So
yeah,
the only thing I can think is that maybe some of the Ring of Honor stuff got added on just due to the fact that some of the things happening backstage because
uh
I'm sure plans had to change. But the other thing I was starting to think is like, I wonder if coming soon we're going to get the announcement of whatever Ring of Honor streaming service is going to be that they're supposed to be joining one of the networks. So I'm wondering if this is a way to highlight
oh
some of the Ring of Honor stuff so that in a month he can go, oh, by the way, Ring of Honor is going to be on Paramount Plus going forward.
yeah,
So I that was one thing I was thinking, like business wise, what could be coming. That's the
makes
only thing I
sense.
can think of, unless. So he has said at the scrum actually that he's going to run all in and all out consecutively. Period. That's what he's going to do from now on. So unless the idea will be eventually to turn All Out into a Ring of Honor show, and All In will be the AEW one in over in London. So maybe this is kind of getting us used to like All Out's going to be Ring of Honor, but Ring
Yeah,
of Honor has their own pay per views, and if All Out's always going to be in Chicago, you're going to want CM Punk there. CM Punk's not Ring of Honor, assuming CM Punk is coming back.
right.
And you mentioned the crowd. I'm very curious how the crowds are going to act, knowing that they're not getting CM Punk now. Well, assuming they know. I'm not going to assume that everybody that watches wrestling knows all the background, is on Twitter, and knows everything else going on. But
Right.
you would assume most of them do. Um, so I'm curious how that crowd's going to act, and it'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to watch it, obviously, because there's Takeshita and Omega.
Mm,
Yes, please give me that twice and on Sunday, and I'll watch that all the time. So
yeah.
that has potential to be one of those match of the year contenders because those two,
Mm.
whew, man, those knees that Takeshita threw
Oh
where he
my.
knocked out, whoa, or he knocked out Ibushi,
Mm.
that jumping knee from the ground, amazing stuff. So that and some V triggers, I'm all in for that one.
Oh yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
And I
Ibushi
think
looked fantastic. Kudos to
yes,
him
he looks really good.
getting back in ring shape. I commend you for turning things around in such a short amount of time. And you could see as the match progressed, he got a lot. He like calmed
Yep,
down. And to
yep,
everybody, like 81,000 people, and before that, the largest show was like 30.
yeah.
And just the energy that they were feeling in that crowd had to have been electric. And I am so jealous. Like,
Next
whew,
year.
Yes, I cannot wait
Next
to
year we got to go
feel.
next year. I need to get my
Yeah.
passport because we got to go next year. And then MJF said something at the scrum that I'm all about. And if it happens, we're going. He said to Tony Khan he wants to work the Aztec Arena in Mexico, and they want to sell
Oh
that
my
out and do a
god.
massive show there. I'm like, that one, I'm there. Like that's an easier trip than London. We could
Wow.
go to that one. I'm down for that. So
Yeah.
that would be a fun one. So yeah, I need to get my damn passport so we can make some of these trips
Yeah.
because we're going to WrestleMania.
Oof.
So that's one off the bucket list.
Yeah.
I can't
And we
wait.
were yeah, we were talking about what we're gonna do when we're there, and Busted Open is gonna be having a basically a town hall or a party at the Hammerstein,
Oh,
and so we will hopefully make a homage to the ECW arena.
when are they doing that? Do you know what
So
day?
it will be, usually he does his show or he does his parties on WrestleMania day.
Okay,
So it'll either be Saturday or Sunday, probably Saturday
probably Saturday.
because Dave is gonna be he's gonna be doing the Greca shit. Woo,
Well,
poor
I'm just
dude.
thinking like we might be able to finagle into going to that. I,
Yeah,
I know a guy, so
yeah,
I'm gonna have to reach out to the guy I know,
yeah. Heck yeah, man.
see about going to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, because
I'm working on knowing the guy too, so we'll see how
yep, yep.
what we can do with some help from some friends. So yeah, dude, I this show was fantastic. The all in, just 5 beards, just freaking fantastic. I wouldn't change anything um that we saw, even like the little hiccups and stuff. I like how not everything is so polished. Um Even the blood and gore that we saw with the fork stabbing, it
Yep.
wasn't just like, gory hell. It really told a story. And yeah, kudos to AEW and the boys and girls in the ring. Thank you so much. CM Punk, come on, dude. Get it together. You are needed and wanted by
Yep.
some in the wrestling world. Don't 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 hurt yourself, man. Come on.
Don't hurt others.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you
just
go.
just like shake it off, man. Like calm
Yeah,
down. Like it's not all well, I mean it is personal, but damn, you're in a wrestling business where
yeah,
shit gets personal.
yeah. You're fucking CM Punk, dude. Come on.
Yeah, for real. Like anyway,
Yeah.
but we take it personal that you guys listen to the show and we appreciate it. Everything. I don't know if you've looked recently there, Ellie Jair, but I think we're at 100 and almost 30,000 downloads now. Yeah.
Woo!
So continuing to grow. Shout out to all those people that support us and give us the love. Thunder Rosa and her channel, and Tony Allen, El Editor, over there helping us out. Fightful shouting us out. Everybody, we appreciate it. And we appreciate you listening, watching, however you do it. We go live usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Saturdays are up in the air right now. We'll probably still be going live, but it may just be on our channel, not necessarily Fantasy Sports Core. I'm going to reach out to those guys and see what the deal is with that. I know we got preempted for a fantasy seminar they were at or whatever. So I'll reach out and see if that's going to be a new standard spot for them. And if it is, we will maybe find a new spot on their channel. If not, we'll see what we can do. But shout out to those guys for all the support and everything they've been doing. Check them out,
Yeah.
Fantasy Sports Core on YouTube and Rumble. Check us out. If you want the audio version to whisper in your ears, sweet nothings, check out our podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, whatever the other ones are. Anywhere you get a podcast from, like I said, even some I've never heard of, you can get us. So check us out there, No Shave Man Cave. Again, Rumble, YouTube, No Shave Man Cave. Follow us on the socials, X, Twitter, all that good stuff, No Shave Man Cave. Pretty easy. If you want to get in touch with us directly, no shave man cave at gmail.com. We check those emails daily and send us some fan mail or respond and give you a thumbs up and whatever. We'll interact. We talked about Twitter being a little, or I'm sorry, X being a little toxic place. So if you haven't seen us on there, that's probably why. Uh, I get on there and I get frustrated and mad, so I don't get on as much as I should. However, we are on Threads now, so I will get with Ellie J here off this and get all our logins and stuff, so I can start maybe participating in that a little more. I don't know if it's gonna be less toxic or not, but just Twitter, man, it gets hard sometimes. I read it and I just want to rage out at some people,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, calm down. Not everybody has to have the exact same opinion as me,
Yeah.
even though you're wrong. It's okay. It's just kidding. But yeah, we appreciate everything, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share us out there. Like and subscribe is very big on Rumble and on YouTube, so we appreciate it. If you want to get notified every time we're live, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications also. With that, it's time for the hot tag for the Marines that take us out.
Bump and feed. Hiya. Hey, wanted to thank everybody for all of the love and support. Keep it coming. Keep it coming to our boys and girls, our ladies, our gentlemen in the armed forces, our brothers and sisters in arms. Thank you so much for what you do. Hurry up, get your ass home. We need you back here safe. To all of our fans everywhere, keep doing what you do. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other.